Hello everybody, this is another commentary by me, Dance, and I will be spawning as the red Protoss, while my opponent, Pobe, will be spawning as the blue Zerg. After looking at his profile after the game, he had 330 wins and 300 losses, and he was in the Diamond League. So he has quite a bit of experience, while I have 69 wins and 49 losses. At the beginning of the game, I looked at his icon, and I couldn't really tell what it was. So that's why I was asking what icon he had. It was either an Overlord or an Overseer. But I mean, after looking at the portraits, I finally got to the conclusion that it was an Overseer. At the beginning there, my pylon, my laptop that I play StarCraft 2 on was kind of slow. I have no idea why. So my micro of this game might not be the best. I asked him if that was an Overlord, and I was pretty confused because I didn't know what kind of icon he had. And he didn't really respond, so I had to look it up myself. As everybody knows, patch 1.1.2 was just released, and this featured a lot of changes to Zerg in terms of the HP of a lot of their buildings. So their buildings weren't as squishy anymore. While the Protoss had their Nexus HP increased to 1000, 1000. Now, over here, I scan his base, and I see that he doesn't have any spawning poles, so I know something's up, and he spends his drone prematurely there. So my probe, I go in there, and while watching a lot of pro replays, I put the pylon there to block his early expo, and my probe is like, oh yeah, denied. So he is now forced to go into some one base play, and he's now getting a spawning pole in his extractor, while I'm just doing regular base play. I would cancel my pylon there just in case he wanted to attack it with some of his drones and stop it really early so that he can get his expansion even earlier. So I end up getting another pylon, and I don't end up canceling this one because I know that he won't be attacking for a while. So over here, I'm going to be placing another pylon. I'm going to be going 4-gate again. This is one of the only things that I find work for me versus Zerg. I don't really know about other people. But when I play Zerg, I usually like to mass up and hit them as fast as I can, because I really don't like it when my opponent has more bases than me. I mean, I know it's standard for Zerg to have at least one more base than a Protoss, but when it comes to me, I mean, I kind of choke and I kind of feel nervous when somebody has more economy than me. So I basically want to stop that, and I want to put some early aggression on them so that I make them pay for getting an early expansion. So over here, Harvesters, I obviously have more because he was relying on getting that early expansion where he could have queued up 6 more drones instead of getting that early hatchery. And so I'm going to be researching Warp Gate like always. I'm going to be chrono boosting it out fairly soon. There you go. I'm going to be getting another Warp Gate. And look at the APMs. I mean, my APM is half of his. I mean, I don't really see the need to have such a high APM at the beginning of the game. But whatever works for him. I thought I queued a sentry like now, but guess I didn't get it. He's researching metabolic boost, and he's getting his roach warren. Another thing that changed in patch 1.1.2 is that the roaches got a range buff. So now their range is 1 more. So now they have a range of 4, which means they can compete with stalkers a lot better. And there was a lot of problems with this because the force fields were way too powerful versus Zerg and roaches, and when we walled off, you can wall off at the bottom of my base right here, and so I can secure my expansion. When you wall off, the roaches won't have enough range to attack the cannons, so now there are instances that you can now attack with the roach to the cannon. And so my sentry is going to be attacking his drone. His drone is there forever. I mean, I don't know. I basically tries to stop his drone from actually getting up by placing that zealot at the choke. And versus Zerg, I mean, it's pretty much essential to block off the choke because you really don't want any Zergling run-bys killing your army, whereas if you place that zealot there, then he's gonna have a lot harder time. So as you see here, he doesn't really have much. He has like a roach, a few Zerglings here and there. He's getting his expansion. I delayed it by like a good minute or two. So now I'm gonna make him pay for that by putting on some early aggression with these zealots. You don't really want to get stalkers early on in the game because mass Zerglings will kill a lot of those stalkers. So I'm going to be getting sentries, putting down my force fields during the battle so that I split up his army as best as I can. And I'm going to be bringing this probe, and what this probe is going to do is I'm going to build a proxy pylon. I mean, I didn't really see this Zergling, but then when it says your forces are under attack, I mean, then I obviously realized. So I'm placing this probe here, placing my proxy pylon here, and I'm going to be placing another proxy pylon at the grass on the top. And I mean, I don't really use that, but in case I wanted to use that later on, I would be able to. So he has 3 roaches and a couple of Zerglings. I'm going to be going in, fighting, and placing that pylon right there. I'm going to be going for engagement. His queen's going to be there. I'm going to be trying to force field. I'm going to be blocking off his roaches. I'm going to be killing them off. He's not even attacking any of my sentries, so my sentries are keeping doing damage, and I keep on fighting him. And his roach is going to go down, and he's not going to have any army. His queen is trying to escape, and the queen's like, no, no, my babies! And now his queen's going to die. He's going to spawn the larva, but then the queen's going to die. So I'm going to be attacking the sentries, and one thing that I really wanted to do and after is I see that a lot of his Zerglings are going to be running at that corner, so that I want to force field, but my force field was a little late. So I'm going to be running on I'm going to be microing my sentries, and none of my sentries actually die. So he was focusing down my sentries, but my sentries didn't even die. So that was really good play by me. I mean, and then with the nerf, with the buff, I mean, the hatchery is going to go down slower than usual, so it's going to take a lot more hits. And as you saw there, I'm going to be now getting my robotics bay. And what I want to do is, if this all-in push fails, then I won't be at a deficit, because then I'll have something to fight him with. So I'm going to be focusing down his larva. I don't really know why I did that. So he's going to be getting a spine crawler, and he's only going to have 2 roaches versus my whole army. So me engaging his army, he's not going to have much. And in order to trap off the queen that spawns, I'm going to be using a force field. And this force field is a very, very well force field, because not only does it block this, it also blocks the roach that just spawned right now. So me fighting, and that is all. I mean, he had nothing to respond to me. So hope you enjoyed that cast. And good luck, have fun.